Hello there, Maverick Currency traders. Nice to see you. This is Rob, and it is June 26th. We only have a couple days left in the month, and then the first half of the year is over. That's crazy how fast it has gone. In this session, we're going to talk about the day. We're going to take a look at some of the news, and we're going to take a look at the current market analysis and rescore everything from +3 to -3. And then we're going to take the best, put them up against the worst, and those are going to be our trades that we're targeting.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional Forex and crypto traders. Maverick Currencies is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional Forex and currency trader for Maverick, click the apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
Today was actually a pretty boring day, and we didn't get a whole lot of activity. We got one piece of news. We got the Australian CPI last night above expectations. Expectations were 3.8%. They came in at 4.0, and the Aussie dollar was the best performing currency on the day. In the last currency room, we talked about the Aussie probably being the best currency of the week. Other than that, we had lots of low volatility and really just a boring day. And look at these numbers. I want everyone to really look at these numbers because you are probably, I don't want to say never, but you will probably not see another day like this for the rest of the year. Look at the movements. Nothing, nothing, nothing. There was really just a flat movement. The only trade today was being long the Aussie or being short the yen. Those are the only two trades that would have worked. If you did anything else, if you paired up euro against the CAD, guess what? Flat day. You paired up pound versus dollar, flat day. The only trade you could have made was something long Aussie or something short yen. And actually the yen hit a multi-decade low today. The yen has gone lower than the market thought. The market thought that the Bank of Japan was going to come in at some point. It didn't. And we are just sliding away on the yen. And we've had the yen as a short for a while. Now, look, this is currencies. Not a whole lot going on. But then we go into equities. Take a look at these numbers. This is nothing. And actually, if you take a look at the charts, the intraday charts in the S&P, it would have been flat, except we got some candle at the very end of the day that made us up a little bit. I mean, just at the very end of the day, we got this little surge. Oil didn't go anywhere. We did have some weakness in crypto and gold. So that was one of the places where we actually had movement in this market. And in crypto, you can see all the movement was in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. Ethereum, Litecoin, flat. Totally flat. This is not a good trading day. And I want everybody to listen to me when I say, and I know we've heard this before, but I need to say it again. It is just as important knowing when not to trade than it is knowing when to trade. I know we all like to get into our books and look at these setups and look at breakouts and this. Sometimes the best trade is to not trade. And today was that day. This market is still at a +3, so let's go ahead and take a look at the S&P chart. All right, so we had our run. We had a big run. This was the run we had, and we topped out. Okay, so we're in a pullback or a base. We had 3 days of a down. We've got this a little bit. This is definitely looking more like a base because you can see we are not breaking down below that last little swing high of this point right here. So we're at a base. We are basing in equities, and this could happen and keep going for as long as it wants to. What are the things we look at for bases? We look at when the 20-period SMA comes up and puts some pressure on it. As you can see, we saw the same thing back here. Once the 20-period SMA came and put some pressure on it, we finally got our breakout. Look, we have no idea how long this base is going to last. We have no idea if it's going to even hold. It might break down, but charting says we are probably looking at more sideways action in the near term. On the calendar, we don't really have a whole bunch coming up either. So usually it takes some sort of news to break this out. And I'm looking at the calendar over the next 24 hours. and there's just nothing there. We got U.S. durable goods orders. That's not going to do anything. There's just nothing on this calendar. We do have the PCE report out of the U.S. on Friday morning. That is a report that could break us out. I'm looking at this, the tea leaves, taking a look at all the markets over the next 24 hours, and I think it's going to be the same. Now, we have a very famous saying at Maverick: trade the market in front of you. Don't trade the market you want it to be. Don't trade the market you think it should be. Look at the data. Does the data say that there is about to be a good trend and a tradable move in the next 24 hours? To me, the data is saying no, there's not. If it's telling me no, there's not, it's telling me, Rob, don't give your money away to the market in these choppy markets that aren't going anywhere. Keep your capital dry, wait to Friday. So look, usually this is where we go through all the currencies. We do a +3 and -3. I'm going to go through one or two currencies I think is interesting, but I actually don't want to give anyone any ideas of anything to trade because I think the right decision is to not trade. So let's jump into a couple of those. I think the only things that look interesting here are the Aussie. So here we have the Aussie dollar. And you can see we broke out. So this is the Aussie basket. So the Aussie dollar has just based for 5 days. It just had a breakout. Look, there's not a lot of follow through to this. And again, this is where we have to admit where we are. We're in a market where when things break out, there's probably not going to be a lot of follow through. But if you are going to look at making a trade, this is at least something on a chart that's going somewhere. I'm going to go down to like an hourly chart. You can see, okay, we just broke out. We came back. We're holding this level. Look, I would want to see at least a couple, maybe 3 or 4 green candles tell me the momentum's back in, because look at this price action. This price action is terrible. You do not want to be trading in this kind of price action. I mean, this is 10, 11, 12 hours of absolutely nothing. Nothing. If we take a look at the yen is the other currency that is currently moving somewhere. It's currently doing something. Now you can see it's just plummeting. It's just falling and falling and falling. Well, what do we want to do on yen? We want to short pops. So again, anywhere, I'll just pull up a little candle here, look at this day. At this point, this was at the high of the candle and it fell apart. At this point, it was the high of the candle and fell apart. We want to wait for those little pops. These are the moments that we really like. We get 1 or 2 days of a pop, and then we can get into a much better price here. So on the yen, yes, it's likely to keep falling. Is it a good entry point? No, it's not a good entry point right here. Outside of that, I'm just going to quickly go through daily charts and just show you that there's nothing going on. So Swiss franc, okay, it's having a pullback. It's not doing anything over the last 4 or 5 days. Euro, not doing anything over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Pound, not doing anything over the last 3 weeks. CAD, okay, CAD's moving a bit to the upside, but nothing great. These aren't great candles to trade. I'm trying to show you that there's just no reason here to be clicking buttons. There's no reason. The only pair, let me go to the dollar, because the dollar's starting to look a little bit more interesting. You can see the dollar is starting to move out of its range. Okay, so maybe dollar is a possible trade, but you can always find reasons to get into trades. You can always find a reason if you want to, but that's not always a good idea. Like I said, I think you want to keep your powder dry. I think you want to wait till the PCE report comes out on Friday before you really look to make any trades. So here is our velocity score, and you can see a whole bunch in the middle. We don't want to trade -1 to +1s. So that leaves us with dollar strong, Aussie strong, yen weak. That is it. Now, I am not going to take a look at any potential trades. I probably do this once or twice a year when I do these once a week recordings. So I don't even want to look at anything. I don't want to even give anyone any idea that they should be trading anything, because I think that's a mistake. So let's wrap this up. I don't think there's any good trading activity out there. If you are going to trade, be selective. Friday morning, in my opinion, is your next opportunity to make a decent trade. I don't think it's there over the next 24 hours. Look, I could be wrong. We could have a great market for the next 24 hours, but the stats say it's not likely. So I go with the stats. I don't go off my gut feelings anymore. I did early on in my career. Definitely not anymore. Look, I put over there, go on vacation. Okay, go do something else. Go outside. Go enjoy the hot weather. Go do something. Maybe on Friday we can get an actual move. Thanks for joining me. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.